These U.S. towns look like any other until you check the crime stats. Behind the quiet streets and welcome signs lie some of the most dangerous places in the country, where violence, theft, and fear are part of daily life. From drive-by zones to cities hollowed by poverty, these 7 towns top the list of places you'll want to think twice before calling home. Number 7. Monroe, Louisiana. Monroe sits in northeastern Louisiana, with a population hovering around 47,000 residents. The Ouachita River cuts through its downtown district, where historic buildings line streets that once bustled with cotton trade commerce. Today, those same streets record a violent crime rate that reaches 1,456 incidents per 100,000 people. The national average sits at 366 per 100,000. That places Monroe nearly 4 times higher than what most Americans experience in their daily lives. Property crime adds another layer to Monroe's statistics. Residents face a 1 in 17 chance of becoming victims of theft, burglary, or motor vehicle theft within a single year. The local police department reports consistent challenges with gang activity concentrated in specific neighborhoods south of Interstate 20. Drug trafficking routes intersecting the city compound enforcement difficulties. Monroe's median household income registers at $34,000, roughly 40% below the national median. Economic distress correlates strongly with elevated crime rates, according to criminology research from institutions including Harvard and Stanford. The University of Louisiana at Monroe anchors the city's educational sector. Students and faculty represent a significant portion of the population, yet campus security bulletins frequently warn about off-campus incidents. Local news outlets document robberies and assaults with regularity that has become normalized. Housing costs remain low compared to state averages, with median home prices around $150,000. That affordability comes with statistical trade-offs. Most prospective residents fail to calculate until experiencing crime firsthand. Number 6. Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis carries a population exceeding 630,000, making it Tennessee's second largest city after Nashville. Beale Street draws tourists seeking blues music, history, and barbecue. Behind that cultural facade, Memphis boasts violent crime numbers reaching 2,003 incidents per 100,000 residents. That rate exceeds the national average by more than 5 times. Aggravated assault accounts for the largest share of violent crimes, followed by robbery and rape. The Memphis Police Department operates with chronic understaffing issues. Budget constraints limit patrol coverage in neighborhoods where crime concentrates most heavily. Areas south of downtown and in North Memphis report the highest incident rates. Residents in these zones experience property crime at rates approaching 1 in 12 annually. Motor vehicle theft has surged particularly in recent years, with stolen vehicles often crossing state lines before recovery attempts begin. Economic indicators paint a challenging picture. Memphis' median household income sits at approximately $43,000, well below the national figure. The poverty rate touches 25%, affecting a quarter of the population. Schools struggle with funding gaps that impact educational outcomes. These factors create environments where crime finds fertile ground. Real estate investors target Memphis for its low property costs, but insurance premiums reflect the risk calculations that come with elevated crime statistics. Number 5. Bessemer, Alabama. Bessemer registers a population near 26,000 inches, Alabama's Jefferson County. Located southwest of Birmingham, this former steel town has watched its industrial base erode over decades. What remains are violent crime rates measuring 1,318 per 100,000 people. That figure places Bessemer more than 3 times above the national baseline. Property crimes hit residents at a 1 in 16 annual risk rate. The city's economic decline accelerated as steel manufacturing jobs disappeared. Median household income hovers around $32,000, among the lowest in Alabama. Vacant buildings dot commercial districts where businesses once thrived. These abandoned structures become gathering points for criminal activity that local law enforcement struggles to monitor effectively. Gang presence remains a persistent issue, with territorial disputes driving violence in residential neighborhoods. Bessemer's proximity to Birmingham influences its crime patterns. Criminal networks operate across municipal boundaries, complicating jurisdictional enforcement efforts. Residents report feeling unsafe in areas that were once considered stable middle-class neighborhoods. Schools face challenges with both funding and safety concerns. Parents navigate decisions about whether staying serves their family's interests or whether relocation becomes the wiser choice. Housing costs reflect the risk environment, with properties selling below state averages yet finding limited buyer interest. Number 4. Street Louis, Missouri. Street Louis proper contains roughly 300,000 residents, down from peak populations exceeding 850,000 inches, the 1,950 seconds. The Gateway Arch symbolizes westward expansion history, but current crime statistics tell a different story. Violent crime rates in Street Louis reached 2,082 per 100,000 people, ranking it among the most dangerous cities nationally. Homicide rates particularly stand out, with numbers that rival cities 10 times its size. Specific neighborhoods north of Delmar Boulevard experience the most concentrated violence. Property crimes affect approximately 1 inch, 13 residents annually. Carjackings have increased significantly, with incidents occurring in both high-crime areas and previously safer districts. The Street Louis Metropolitan Police Department operates with budgets that haven't kept pace with the scope of challenges faced. Officer retention remains problematic, with experienced personnel leaving for suburban departments offering better compensation and working conditions. Economic segregation defines much of Street Louis's geography. Areas south of Interstate 44 maintain relative stability, while northern zones struggle with disinvestment and abandonment. The median household income citywide registers at $45,000, but that figure masks dramatic variations. Poverty concentrates in neighborhoods where crime rates peak highest. Schools in these areas face persistent achievement gaps and safety concerns. Real estate markets reflect these divides, with property values diverging sharply based on location. Investors looking at Street Louis must parse data carefully, as citywide averages obscure neighborhood-level realities. Number 3. Detroit, Michigan. Detroit's population has fallen to about 640,000, a shadow of its 1,950 peak of 1.8 million. Industrial collapse left neighborhoods riddled with abandoned homes and empty factories. Violent crime reaches 2,007 incidents per 100,000 people, while 1 inch 16 residents faces property crime yearly. Car thefts remain among the highest nationwide. After declaring bankruptcy in 2013, Detroit's police and fire departments still operate under tight budgets, covering 139 square miles. Response times in some districts stretch dangerously long. On the east side, certain blocks become near no-go zones after dark. Many residents stay because they simply can't afford to leave. Still, there are bright spots. Downtown and Midtown have seen revitalization, new housing, and business investment. Crime there has dropped closer to national averages, but the divide between thriving and struggling areas forms a two Detroits. Median home prices average $65,000, though the low cost comes with risks that vary by neighborhood. Number 2. Birmingham, Alabama. Once a booming steel capital, Birmingham, home to roughly 200,000 residents, now faces violent crime rates of 1,682 per 100,000, over 4 times the national average. Homicides, assaults, and robberies dominate local reports, particularly in neighborhoods north and west of downtown. Property crimes hit 1 inch 18 residents, with burglary and theft plaguing both homes and small businesses. The Birmingham Police Department promotes community policing, but limited staffing hampers results. Economic struggles deepen the crisis. The city's median income is $37,000, and poverty hovers around 28%, among the nation's worst for its size. Underfunded schools and few job opportunities sustain a cycle where crime thrives. Southern suburbs enjoy higher property values, while inner-city real estate sells cheaply due to safety concerns. Even insurance costs in Birmingham exceed state norms, adding hidden expenses to already strained households. Number 1. Camden, New Jersey. Across the river from Philadelphia, Camden, population 71,000, has long battled devastating poverty and crime. Violent crime hits 1,847 incidents per 100,000, and 1 inch 13 residents faces property crime yearly. Once an industrial hub, the city crumbled after factory closures, leaving widespread unemployment and disinvestment. Poverty surpasses 35%, among America's highest. Drug activity remains rampant, though reforms in 2013 replaced the city's police force with a county-run department that boosted patrols and community engagement. Some numbers improved, but Camden remains statistically one of the nation's most dangerous places. Thousands of abandoned buildings serve as hideouts for criminals. Median household income lingers under $28,000, and rock-bottom housing prices mask the dangers behind affordability. Camden stands as a stark warning of what happens when economic collapse, poor governance, and crime feed each other in an endless loop.